It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal as the NBA season begins to pick up steam. And it is Raptor basketball tonight as the Toronto Raptors go up against the Brooklyn Nets. And for Brooklyn, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. Man, this running Raptor team, they're young, they're energetic. Man, how do you slow them down if you're playing them?
Well, you have to contain the wings, Ernie. Secondly, you have to locate the wings, especially after a miss, because DeRozan and Ross, they are excellent finishers, and you don't want to be embarrassed.
That'll do it for now. Both teams ready to tip it off. We get it to Kevin Harlan.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. So glad you could join us on this wonderful Saturday night. You can feel the energy here in Air Canada Center. The Raptors looking to please their fans in this Eastern Conference matchup. This game against Brooklyn here, it's their first look at the Nets. This team matched up so well during the regular season last year, splitting their 4 games. This should be a terrific battle.
And, of course, they're meeting the team that was responsible for dealing them a very painful loss in the first round of the playoffs a year ago.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. Down low, Kevin Garnett and Brook Lopez. Williams is out there with Skinny, and it's Bogdanovich in at the threesome. Clock is at 3. The kick out to Williams. It's rebounded by Jenkins. Steve just talked about their postseason last year, and Clark, I'll bet they're still thinking about how quickly this team bounced them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, you got to believe that, Kevin. I mean, their first chance this season for a little bit of revenge, they're salivating.
Now here's DeRozan after the miss from Darren Williams. Jenkins with it. Shot is no good. Good D by Lopez. And here is Williams. 14 points from him the last game against Orlando.
And what an extraordinary display of passing in that game, too, Kevin. Making all the right decisions offensively.
Launches it. Shot is off. Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Lionel Hollins. And Doris, what'd you find out?
He told me there aren't many big men with the mobility and length of Jonas Valanciunas, and that he's a player they'll really have to account for, saying, quote, JV's still developing his skill set, but there just aren't that many people in the world of his size. And you factor in his motor, he can really impact a game. Guys, we'll see how they try to deal with him.
Thanks again, Doris. And it's slammed in by Garnett.
He didn't have to get off the ground very far for that one. The big man with the slam.
Well, he makes up for any lack of athleticism with that tremendous size, Clark.
Yeah, he's not exactly a smooth operator, but what he is powerful. And when he gets positioned in the lane, he can go up and get it done.
A career best performance from Kyle Lowry last season, posting best in scoring and assists. A lot of people felt like he was the player most egregiously overlooked when it came to the All-Star game.
First free throw is good. And Lowry, arguably the Raptors' best player last season. Despite that, Steve, he was the subject of repeated trade rumors.
Well, it was such a curious situation for Toronto. On one hand, you know, they were trying to rebuild at the beginning of the season, maybe get a top draft pick, and then all of a sudden they started playing well. In the end, no trade. You know, Lowry becomes their best player, and then, you know, he leads them to a top 3 seed in the playoffs. So it's kind of a strange season. Kyle Lowry, an unrestricted free agent this offseason. Last year playing really well in a contract year. The question is, can he maintain that level of play now with this new deal? Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
There's a screen, and the pass to Elliott. He dishes it to Jenkins. Lopez with the steal. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Williams kicks to Lopez. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. And Lowry, one of the more underrated players in the NBA, but he's also gotten into it with coaches in the past 2.
Yeah, you know, some locker room concerns, he can rub folks the wrong way, but I tend to always want to give the player the benefit of the doubt in this situation until you know for sure what the issues are. Nothing wrong with a little sandpaper coming from a player that's out there competing.
A new group in now for the Raptors. Johnson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Terrence Ross comes in for Elliott. Lou Williams is checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Vasquez in for Kyle Lowry. And a new group in for the Nets. Plumlee, he's checked in for Lopez. Kirilenko comes in for Kevin Garnett. Johnson, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. And Jarrett Jack is subbed in for Williams. And Jack kicks to Johnson. From 15 feet away, and that's good for 2.
You can't give him that shot. I mean, a few open looks are all it takes, and he can really get rolling.
Now here's Vasquez. He's covered closely. Johnson with a screen on Jack. Vasquez. Rebound, Brooklyn. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
Yeah, guys, it was just their night. It seemed like they hit every shot they looked at.
Absolutely. It was just one of those games where the hot shooting of a couple of players eventually just infected everybody.
Here is Skinny. 14 points from him the last game against Orlando.
And he did some nice work on the boards too, Kevin. That was definitely a factor in that game as well.
Now here's Vasquez. Johnson outside. Kicks it to Williams. Feeds to Vasquez. Lock at 6. Johnson, the pass to Vasquez. Williams attacking. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line.
It's his first trip to the line.
Well, he was somebody you didn't want to put at the line a year ago. He made 85% of his attempts.
And guys, if a game was coming down to the wire and an opponent needed to foul, I mean, he was the guy they wanted with the ball in his hands. I mean, shooting the free throws because of his proficiency there.
So he gets them both.
He's a dead eye at the line, fellas. Just call him automatic. He doesn't miss many of those.
Here's Dean. Shot is off. It's all tied in Toronto. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.
Thursday, November 6th, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Dwight Howard and the Houston Rockets. It's Western Conference action. Be there.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. Taking a look here at the Raptors' performance here. Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing in your opinion?
And I thought the key in that first quarter was the offensive aggressiveness. They attacked the rim and got to the foul line.
And I sense they're really feeling good about playing at home, taking advantage of the home court.
Well, you talk about the financial commitment by the Brooklyn Nets. Last year's starting lineup was the highest paid in NBA history.
Well, to a man, they all made well over $10 million, Kevin. I mean, Joe Johnson was over $20 million, and boy, that's a lot of cheese to be coughing up to those guys, but it is what it is.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And Brooklyn looking who they've got. Williams and Jack, their backcourt. Johnson is out there with Andre Kirilenko. And it's Plumlee in at the 5 down low. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thank you, Kevin. Deron Williams has been battling ankle injuries the last several years. It's taken not just a physical toll, but a mental one as well. As Deron has said, I used to step on the court and feel like I was the best player no matter who I played against. I've got to get back to that. Even if I'm not the best player on the court, I've got to feel like I am. Guys?
Certainly a player to root for. Thanks, Doris. Elliott's checked in for the Raptors. And then for Brooklyn, Lopez comes in for Andre Kirilenko. And it's Bogdanovich in for Jarrett Jack.
And for the around 26 non-luxury tax teams in the NBA, they might want to write up a nice thank you card to the Nets, considering that the Nets paid about $88 million in tax. That's the highest in league history. A good chunk of that change goes to those other teams.
Johnson sets the screen for DeRozan. 6 to shoot. Lowry with the ball. Williams picks him up. And Lowry gets it to go.
Boy, and their offense scorching now. Red hot. They've really turned it on.
I don't think they can play any better, guys. I mean, they are just making it look easy out there.
But even as expensive as the Brooklyn roster has been, the Nets are still enjoying a huge boost in franchise value since moving to Brooklyn. 2 years ago, the team was valued at $357 million or thereabouts. I wonder where these valuation numbers come from. But anyway, last year that number was at $780 million. Well, that's not a bad return in just a couple of years. It almost sounds like play money.
And here's DeRozan after the three-pointer from Darren Williams. And DeRozan, here we go. Off target with the free throw line, Jay.
He got the shot he wanted off that pick, just couldn't get it to fall.
But Steve, they'll take that play all day long, 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
Now here's Williams. He's got 8. And Plumlee kicks to Bogdanovich. Williams dishes to Johnson. Here's Lopez. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Well, it was Toronto winning their last game against the Utah Jazz.
Well, Kevin, they constructed a perfect offensive game plan going into that game, and it was quickly apparent how powerless the defense was to stop it.
Powerless is a good way to put it, Steve. We're unlikely to see that many uncontested baskets again anytime soon. For years, the Raptors had been a doormat for a lot of teams out west. An easy win, but last year they were one of the best teams in the East when it came to playing against the West.
Raptors were one of just a few Eastern teams to go over 500 against the Western Conference when they went head-to-head.
Yeah, I think it had to do with the Raptors' ability to get hot. You know, when this team is hitting their shots, they can compete with anybody, and there really isn't much an opponent can do about it.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Jenkins, he's checked in for Johnson. Williams comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Vasquez in for Kyle Lowry. Kevin Garnett is checked in for Brooklyn. Skinny comes in for Johnson. Good on the second free throw.
It appears as though the Nets have basically committed to winning now with the way they've handled contracts and trades, and as good as they are, you do have to wonder about their future.
Moving it up. Elliott the bucket. And the Raptors lead by 3.
That lead should be safe if they keep shooting like this.
Well, they're on fire. I mean, they're absolutely on target and looking to pad that scoring total, too.
Now here's Williams. He's got 8. And Bogdanovich kicks to Lopez. The turnaround Jay. Second chance shot. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Outside Williams. Vasquez passes to Williams. And blocked. We've got 22 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Williams. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. Both teams will make substitutions. He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game. And that one falls for Williams. .16 seconds left in the first half. Williams kicks to Vasquez. Williams, a screen on Williams. Ross in the corner. The shot's good. Vasquez making the play.
Very effective screen to set up the jumper. That was the key to that play.
Here is Skinny. Second quarter ends in a tight one. Raptors lead by 2. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, we have Brooke Lopez with us. What's the attitude you have as a team right now?
Oh, it's so exciting. You know, it's really thrilling to come out with such a great group of guys every night, you know, and play basketball. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Brooke, thank you very much. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Without question, Darren Williams displaying his skills today.
I like that he didn't force anything in that first half. His decision-making was really flawless.
That being the case, Steve, I think they want him to be more assertive in the second half. Look to take more shots. Be a little more shot hungry, even the tough ones.
Lowry and DeRozan, they're the backcourt. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with the Wizard, and it's Elliott in at the 3. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here's DeRozan, and that's going to be a travel.
Let's see some of the numbers here for DeMar DeRozan. Last year, getting it done. He put up about 22 points a game, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. When you have a shooter like him off the bench, it makes finding points a lot easier.
Well, Steve, you know, things can get stagnant without offense coming off the bench, and he always can supply some shooting.
Making the playoffs was a goal the Raptors have been working towards for a long time, and last year they were able to get back to the postseason for the first time since 2008.
Here's Garnett. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Garnett's got it all tied up now for the Nets.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
Long drought came to a close last year, Clark, for Toronto. It wasn't a long ride in the playoffs, but the Raptors sure provided some excitement.
Well, that Game 7 loss to the Nets, Kevin, broke some hearts, but that's just a young team losing to a veteran team, and that always serves you well when you're looking to become more competitive, and ultimately the Raptors benefit from that type of experience.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding, so important in a tight game.
And Toronto making a change here. Johnson's checked in.
Brooklyn Nets going all in last season, a record $89 million in luxury tax payments on a mission to win a championship. Of course, it didn't happen, but the question is, where do they go from here?
And, you know, for the Nets, between their trades with the Hawks and the Celtics, they've actually traded away most of their draft picks through 2018. So, you know, what you see is pretty much what you're going to get with this group.
Now here's Williams. 11 points in the game. 5 to shoot, and that one's good. 6 points for Garnett.
You know, when the size advantage is that pronounced, I mean, that's exactly what you should do offensively in this situation. Take it strong to the middle.
Here's Jenkins, and he comes off the screen and slams it through.
Boy, that's some physical basketball out there. I'm glad I'm not in the middle of that. A hard pick and an assault on the bucket.
Old school stuff there.
Yeah, there was a lot to like on that play.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And you remember the Nets owner guaranteed a title within 5 years. That's this postseason. Said if he failed, he'd punish himself by, Steve, getting married.
Sure his future wife appreciates that comment.
Yeah,
but,
really.
I don't know. Maybe he's a romantic at heart, Kevin, or maybe not.
What a way to get your marriage started.
Yes. Now here's Williams. Williams double team. Pass to Plumlee. Lets the 3 fly, and Williams gets it to go on the assist from Plumlee. 14 points for Williams.
They've been good on all 3 of their shots since coming out of the locker room at the break.
Williams against Lowry. On the wing, DeRozan. The feed now to Jenkins. Back to DeRozan. Lowry against Williams. That is good. And it's 13 points for Kyle Lowry. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Lopez, a screen on Lowry. Pass to Bogdanovich for the lead. Toronto grabs the miss. Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game. In the next game, it'll be played in Los Angeles. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
Well, and you know the Laker fans are hoping for a win in that game.
Now here's DeRozan. Lowry kicks to Jenkins. Clock at 6. And the rebound goes to Lopez. Lopez has got 3 rebounds now in this one. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kev, Coach Lionel Hollins helped define the Grizzlies' grit and grind style and was asked if he'd replicate it with the Nets. He said, quote, "We're going to be aggressive and tough. We'll play together and never quit. But how our style will be is up to the group. The key is creating a system that fits them and allows them to excel." Kevin, back to you.
As a coach, you've got to adopt your talent, Doris. Thanks. And it's DeRozan missing.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Lopez outside. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that one.
Elliott passes to Lowry. He feeds it to Johnson. Here's Elliott. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. It's the Raptors leading by just 2. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter.
Coming up next Wednesday night, November 5th, Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers go up against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. Do not miss it.
And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
This was an exceptional pass, guys, and we see the result. Hits him in stride, and bam, the slam dunk.
Brooklyn trailing on the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Johnson is out there with Andre Kirilenko. And it's Garnett. Then it's Jarrett Jack. And it's Dean in at the 2-guard spot. Here's Jack. No good. And Toronto will come the other way. Al Vasquez. Pass to Williams. They set the pick. Just 5 to shoot. From the line. And it's good off the back rim and in. Williams has got the lead up to 4 now for Toronto. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. And Jack, here we go. Dean passes to Johnson. Johnson left side. Connects on the 9-footer. Toronto calls timeout. Jenkins, he's checked in for Johnson. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was just going over the plan with his team. With the game still up for grabs, he simply told us, guys, we're right there. Stay focused, execute, and get it done. Kevin, let's see how it plays out.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Now here's Vasquez. And Valanciunas kicks to Williams. Dishes it to Vasquez. Johnson against Ross. The Raptors need to get a shot off. From deep, Williams. Good. Williams has got 5 points now this quarter.
Defenders need to recognize and be alert to staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Timeout called, the Nets. Lopez, he's checked in for Johnson. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Jack passes to Dean. Lopez a screen. Back to Jack. The dish to Lopez. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got 5 rebounds tonight. Williams attacking. Floats one, and it's Kirilenko with the rebound. Nets trailed by 5. He kicks to Jack. Lopez a screen. Back to Jack. Left side, Kirilenko. 6 to shoot. Jack passes to Dean. No good off the back of the rim. Raptors leading by 5. Vasquez dishes to Williams. And there's the pass to Vasquez. They set the screen. Jumper off the screen. And it's Valanciunas that time on the assist by Vasquez.
And that's why teams emphasize the use of screens and picks, just to get you some open looks like that one.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're trailing by 7. 1:31 left in the fourth quarter. Elliott's checked in for Toronto. Lowry comes in for Vasquez. Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Williams comes in for Jarrett Jack. .131 left to play in the final quarter. Outside Williams. Lopez kicks to Williams. Here's Bogdanovich. 5 on the clock. Baseline J on the way. Toronto grabs the miss. Lowry drives in, and it's sent back by Lopez. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for Toronto.
DeMar DeRozan.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Well, it's going to be tough for them, but you have to continue to compete. It's not over. Just play, see what happens.
Yep, you can't afford empty possessions.
Boy, he really used his height there.
He sure did, Steve. I mean, a nice touch on that shot.
The Raptors have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. And it's Lowry penetrating. Misses off the left iron. The Nets have gone just 33% for the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6.
Boy, he quieted the crowd with that big shot. That's a big play.
Yeah, the crowd's been hoping for something to cheer for, but nothing.
Now here is Lowry. He dishes it to Valanciunas. Outside Lowry. Here's Jenkins. Good D by Lopez.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're losing by 3. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth. Here's what's your take?
Well, they've got 2 options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim, and that wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
Here's Bogdanovich. Yes! A tremendous 3 to tie it up.
Ooh, a pressure basket right there.
Now that's coming through in the clutch.
And the Raptors call time here. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lowry passes to Elliott. Feeds to Jenkins. Yes! Mario!
You know, when he's in that tight with that kind of height advantage over the defender, that's going to be a pretty easy play for him.
Dean. Oh, that shot had a chance, but no good. And so the big win by Toronto in a tight game. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
You know, nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight ones.
And now we send you down to Doris Burke courtside, who's with our Jordan player of the game. Doris?
Yes, guys, I'm here with Kyle Lowry. And Kyle, following this win here tonight, as you head out on the road for your next one, what, if anything, changes in terms of the team's strategy?
We just got to take on the road and do everything we're supposed to do. We do at home and take on the road. We got a tough team coming up. You know, well-coached, play hard team, and we got to go out there and try to get that win.
Good luck out there on the road, Kyle. Thanks for the time. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. And for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. Now, our Jordan player of the game, Kyle Lowry.